nationals who escaped the communist island by flying a hang glider across the Florida Straits have finally been granted asylum. And now one of them is speaking exclusively for the first time. He told Local 10's Hatsavella what it was like seeing the American flag as he landed in Key West.
Well, the final decision was made one day before.
Ismael Hernandez sits with Local 10. The 29-year-old recounts that dangerous voyage in March using an ultralight to leave Cuba.
It was really desperate.
The current Cuban state of affairs, an economy in shambles, food and medicine shortages, misery drove him and David Lopez Alfonso to do it, first guarding the motorized hand glider overnight, adding an extra tank of fuel underneath so they had enough to make it across the Florida Straits.
Yeah, it was really tense.
A morning filled with final preparations and jitters, nervous about being discovered as they got ready to take off from Tarara, an oceanside community east of Havana. Here is a hand-drawn map they sketched out of their scheme to leave the communist island.
I was pretty nervous in the takeoff because the plane was really heavy. In the race to take off, it was really hard to keep the plane straight.
The crosswinds made it a tough takeoff, but then they were off. The worst part, looking down in the middle of the Florida Straits, seeing nothing but ocean and 9-foot waves.
And pray to get there.
In 2 hours and 4 minutes, the two Cuban men spot a giant American flag above the rooftops in Key West and eventually land at the airport.
Did that feel like 7 hours?
No, it feels like 20 years.
They took extreme risk.
Their attorney tells us their courageous story helped their case before an immigration judge.
What if anything went wrong? What if the wind changed?
In addition to their dangerous ordeal, going back to Cuba was not an option, an argument that helped win them asylum.
Going back to Cuba is meaning death.
You can imagine how they feel. At this point, the co-pilot is not ready to tell his story, but Ismael tells us he's ready to start his new life here in America. Hopefully, he says one day he can reach his lifelong dream of becoming a pilot. For now, reporting live from the city of Miami, I'm Hatsavella, Local 10
So
News.
incredibly smart, and now a new beginning for him. Thanks a lot there, Hansel.